Welcome to the buffet with Tony Yarber. Excited to have you here today for another exciting show. This is the hottest Friday wind down that you're going to find anywhere. We're talking about everything from local politics, state and national politics. We're talking about current events and all things that affect you. I want to take just a few minutes to shout out the team that's here producing this show. I also want to shout out We Believe Digital. We are absolutely looking for people who want to be a part of what we're doing here on the buffet. Looking forward to people becoming sponsors of this show. If that is you and you are interested in showcasing, broadcasting your business, give us a call, 1-800-492-5186. And we are definitely looking forward to the opportunity to bring you on board, showcase your business. Talk about the things or should I say, put together a quality. This group of producers and engineers and media specialists put together a video, a commercial, or any kind of marketing package that fits in the scheme of what's happening here. We believe, don't miss out. It's really, really reasonable right now. And you know things don't stay reasonable once they take off, all right? So I got a sneaky suspicion that in 2023 that things are gonna really start taking off. So you wanna be on the ground floor of this so that you have an opportunity to reap all those benefits going up. I need you to share. Go on and press that share button for me. Right after you do that, I want you to slide your finger up and over and hit that like button. And then I want you to hit the start button while you help me get our star goals. Today we got a really good show planned for you. We're going to talk a little bit, not a little bit, we're going to talk a lot bit about a little situation that came up over in Rankin County in Brandon. In Brandon, there was a situation. We're not going to get into it right now, but I want you to know this is where we're going. In Brandon, there was a daycare center that was accused, not just accused, but cops, everybody got involved, okay? All these folks got involved, and because the folks got involved, it became a big, big deal. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what happened as a result of that. I got some inside information that I want to be able to share with you so you get some understanding that you don't get just from social media, all right? Also, for those of you who don't know, yesterday, Congress passed they passed the omnibus bill. The omnibus bill is basically a bill where you put all kind of stuff in it. It's just all kind of stuff that you put in this bill. But one of the things that they put in the bill that I'm really, really excited to say today is that in the bill, they put $600 million for Jackson's water. Hallelujah. Why is that so good? Because it's cold. And y'all know in Jackson, when it gets cold, especially when it's cold over several days, y'all know our pipes start busting. And then we be taking whole baths. Y'all know our pipes will start busting, and we've been around here boiling water and dipping rags in the water and trying to wash off, and they'll be telling us that we can't open our mouths when we shower. So I hope y'all kept some of that water they was passing out. We did, and prayerfully nothing will happen that'll affect that. But $600 million that's getting ready to touch down for Jackson. And y'all, what is so amazing about it is if you don't know, whenever we get federal money, the federal funds typically, unless the municipality or the county or whatever write a direct grant, but most of that money, when it's coming through a bill, they funnel it through the state. Well, Tate them won't be able to put their hands on this. This is going to be this will be something that the city of Jackson gets ready to see a real investment. And for those of you who don't know, $600 million is a lot of money. And what you're gonna start seeing is situations like where your cousin and your brother and them who do construction work and folks who do products and production and all that, you're gonna see all of that stuff. So what y'all need to start doing is thinking about how can I get a piece of that $600 million that's getting ready to hit the ground that's gonna go into fixing things around the city of Jackson. We gotta demand that the people who are in charge of their money, that are in charge of the purse, are looking to be sure that they are taking care of Jackson first. There are companies here in Jackson. If you're gonna bring some partners in, bring some partners in. That's fine, but let them partner with the black business owners, with the reputable minority business owners, even with the white business owners. Don't matter if it's Jackson, but if it's Jackson, let us feed Jackson first. That's a lot of money, and we want to be sure that we've got stuff in place to be able to get a piece of the pie. This past Tuesday. This past Tuesday, a mama dropped her child off at a daycare center. At a daycare center, yeah, Otha Kane, that's right. $600 million is on its way. You absolutely right, man. But a daycare center that we are all, if you're in Jackson, you probably aren't as familiar with it, but those of you who are in the daycare world, you've had children in Rankin County over the last almost 40 years, your child or somebody you know or somebody's child that you know, it is highly likely that child or some people around there, somebody that went to Kids Are Kids Learning Academy. All right, Kids Are Kids Learning Academy. Well, this past Tuesday, a child was dropped off at Kids Are Kids Learning Academy about 6:45 in the morning. It's my understanding based on the information that I was given. And again, I want to say that I don't have all the information. If you think you got something that you want to offer, that's fine. You can call in or you can comment on Facebook, and we'll be able to see your comment. But this past Tuesday, the child was dropped off at 6:45, all right? When the child was dropped off at 6:45, it is my understanding that the child then began to display just basic symptoms in the morning time, that children have. She was sleepy. The child was sleepy, couldn't, want to lay her head down, and did that for some time, is my understanding, all right? Well, while the child is sleeping and going through the motions, at some point the child is awakened at around 12 o'clock after several of the daycare workers observed that the child was kind of out of it, a little discombobulated, if you will. Call was placed to the parent around noon. The parent then comes to the school, picks the child up, after being made aware by the daycare employees and leadership. The mama does what a good mama does. She takes her child to the University of Mississippi Medical Center. When they get there, it is then discovered that the child has alcohol poisoning, okay? It's my understanding that after that, around 7 that night, there was a call placed from the daycare leadership to the parent to check on the child. It's 7 p.m. at night. At the end of a regular day, the school didn't know anything about alcohol poisoning. The school's just doing what good schools and good school people do. We just gonna call and check on our baby, and that's what they did. Call and check on her, and it's my understanding. And again, it's my understanding that the child's mom, when she was called, she still does not say that there was an incident or that there was alcohol poisoning, but what she does is she asks, did the child get a hold to hand sanitizer? All right, that's the first question out. Did the child get a hold of hand sanitizer? All right. Well, the very next day, there is a post, because I want y'all to understand now that there was a post, and this post that was made, and I feel like it's necessary that if I'm gonna talk about the post, that I read it. So let me see if I can pull this. Let me see if I can pull this post up because I want to read it to you. I don't know why my phone acting crazy. All right, here we go. So there's a post, and the post says, "Never thought I would be one of those parents with a horror story like this, but they definitely need to be exposed for whatever is going on behind those doors with these children. My baby could have died from alcohol poisoning. I could have lost half of my heart. Now I don't have child care and unsure of how I can trust anyone to care for my babies. Of course, I interviewed with the social worker, etc. And this daycare will be under investigation until we get answers. Now, I want you to know, I personally, I don't have any problem with the mom having the issues that she's having. I don't have no problem with that. But I want to, let me just, full disclosure, I've been a elementary school teacher. I've been a principal. I've been a high school assistant principal. I've been working in schools. I'm a consultant right now. I work with principals and math teachers 5 days a week, all right? So full disclosure, I got a little thing in me about how we handle stuff when it comes to our children in these schools. I got a little thing in me about that. I think one of the worst things you can do, and this parent is finding out right now, that one of the worst things you can do is jump out there and you ain't got everything you need to jump out there with. It's one of the worst things you can do is jump out there. You hot, you're passionate, you're emotional, you mad, you got all of this stuff going on, and the worst thing you can do, and I'm not just talking about this mama, I'm talking about some of those of you who are watching right now. You're watching right now, and if your little nappy-head child come in and tell you that the teacher said or did something, your crazy butt ain't gonna even try to find out. You gonna go on Facebook and blast. You ready to call up to the school and cuss. You gonna go up there with your house shoes and your bunny to prove that you bout it and ain't nobody gonna act a fool with your children, but they ain't seen you all year at nothing pertaining to nothing that's got nothing to do with educational. And when you get there, you show your behind only to find out that your child was being ignorant and now you look stupid. We gotta figure out a better way to approach this. The next day, on a Wednesday, detectives, DHS, everybody's in the school. DHS, everybody's in the school. They there. They're interviewing everybody. There was a forensic interviewer who interviewed the baby. Now I want you to know how important this is. Let me explain, because you got to get this. Forensic interviewers, you got to be trained for this. And typically a forensic interviewer is someone who is trained on how to interview children specifically, because in order to interview children, you've got to do it in a way, because children are impressionable. Because I can impress upon that child, and that child will say, well, yeah, my granddaddy touched me. Yeah. So you got to make sure that is being handled with somebody who is trained to do it. Did it. They did it. They got a forensic interviewer. Brandon Police Department. I said police. The Brandon Police Department. They post. Now this is when you know. Brandon posted on their Facebook page. They said, Kids Are Kids Learning Academy has been cleared of wrongdoing and no charges will be filed. I want to read to you the press release. Brandon, Mississippi. On December 14, 2022, the Brandon Police Department was made aware of an incident at Kids Are Kids Learning Academy on Luckney Road involving a 5-year-old child taken to the hospital, and tests showed her blood alcohol level as 0.174. Investigators quickly began gathering facts. When they say quickly, they mean quickly. Baby, listen. My understanding is they descended upon it like it was a hostage situation going on at Kids Are Kids. The parents of the minor child and the minor child were also interviewed. During an interview conducted by a forensic interviewer, it was discovered the minor child has had a history of and had intentionally ingested hand sanitizer. Kids Are Kids Learning Academy has been cleared of wrongdoing and no charges will be filed. I'm going to go back to the sentence before the last one I read, because I need to read that again because this is important. It says, during an interview conducted by a forensic interviewer. I told y'all the importance of the forensic interviewer already. I already told you the importance of the forensic interviewer. It was discovered the minor child has had a history of and had intentionally ingested hand sanitizer. All right. We get ready to go on break. When I come back from break, I want to break this. I want to break this down. I want to give you a little bit. I want to give you some more information as well about that happened and what went on that Wednesday and what's happened since that time. Come back from break. I want to talk to you a little bit about how we gotta put how we need to put ourselves in a position to better advocate for our children, particularly when we believe that they have done wrong. But I'm also going to talk about, and we're also going to talk about when we get back, how we responsibly, like adults, admit when we messed something up or didn't do something right or handled it the wrong way. How do we do that in a way that doesn't cause us to lose anything? All right. I'll see y'all after the break. Share, let everybody know that the buffet is live. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
Hey everybody, we're back. Thank you for hanging in there. We got about 15 more minutes in this particular show. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to dive right in so we can try to get to a conclusion on this issue out in Brandon. For those of you who may just be pulling up, we are talking about an incident that happened in Brandon, Mississippi at Kids or Kids Learning Academy this past Tuesday, and it's been ongoing ever since then. In this situation, there's a child, a minor child, who ingested hand sanitizer, was taken to the hospital. Investigations were launched. DHS, Brandon PD, everybody is involved, only for to find out that this particular situation, this case, there was no negligence or no wrongdoing found on behalf of the daycare. And I want to say that again. There was no wrongdoing found on behalf of the daycare. No charges are going to be filed against the daycare. I also read the statement from Brandon, the Brandon Police Department, from the mayor, actually, the mayor, as well as this is from the Brandon Police Department, but whenever the mayor's name is on it, you got to recognize. So the mayor and the chief of police sent this out, and there's a sentence that I highlighted before we went to break, and I want to lift this back up, and I want to deal with it. And those of you who are on, look, I'm encouraging you, come on, talk to me. We can have a conversation about this. There's some things you want to get off your chest, some things you want to add to the conversation. Be sure you put it in the comments, or you can give us a call at 1-800-492-5186, 1-800-492-5186. It says, a forensic interviewer conducted an interview, and it was discovered the minor child has had a history of and had intentionally ingested hand sanitizer. Let me tell y'all something. When I first saw this, I really, it bothered me. It bothered me. It bothered me because in here it says that the child got a history of hand sanitizer. And that rubbed me. Because when I'm reading what the parent wrote, it is almost, you know what? Let me back out of that. Let me say this, and then I'll swing back around. So it's my understanding, based on what the information I was given, that, and I said this earlier, that the parent, when called on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, the first thing that the parent didn't ask anything else. The parent asked, did the child get a hold of hand sanitizer? Now, I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna draw any conclusions, okay? I'm not gonna draw any conclusions, okay? But I am gonna synthesize the information a little bit, okay? I'm not gonna draw any conclusions, but let's synthesize this, analyze it so we can synthesize it rather. If the child has a history, this child, and look, children do that. Children eat hand sanitizer. Children, they eat erasers. Children eat glue. They do that. That's what children do. But here's the problem. And this is a problem that we always make. And this is where I want to land, and this is where I want to drive the ship from here on out. Where we mess up is when we get on social media and we start making and launching these allegations. And y'all know I'm real sensitive about that. Because what happens is these allegations will be launched. And just like what happened with this lady's post, Negroes started sharing it like wildfire, just like you were looking at a credible source. I know what you're saying. Well, it was her mama and her mama. Well, that's all good. That's fine. But we got to stop jumping on stuff because it's salacious. We got to stop jumping on stuff because it tickles our fancy. It arouses the messiness in us. We got to stop jumping on stuff because it arouses our nosiness, and we don't know how to keep our nose out of other folks' business, and we trying to solve everybody's problems and all this other stuff. Get somewhere and sit down. Get somewhere and sit down. Get all of the information. Understand what it is that is happening so you can make good decisions. As a result of all of this, those people at Kids, they're not working. Hey, Christmas is Sunday. These people have not worked. And they're not getting paid for being off work. These people have not worked. The parents who bring their children there have not been able to take their children all week. Why? Because the center is closed. It's closed. But oh boy, when you get out there ahead of yourself, at our church, we say that you're outrunning the coverage of your grace. When you outrun your grace, when you outrun your coverage, it puts you in a real bad situation. Mama outran her coverage because when Mama posted made that post, it triggered. Hear me now. I want y'all to hear me when you're ready to go blast folks and you're ready to go put people on Facebook and blast teachers and all that. And you don't know. Because, see, teachers, can I tell y'all something? I video your children sometimes when they're not acting a fool and I know you don't believe nothing nobody say about that little hellion. Oh, I'm going to video them so you can see when you come to acting a fool how he went over there and grabbed that girl by the back of the head. Mama made that post and it triggered events that she can no longer control. Because guess who they're investigating now? Because remember, the child has a history. Who knows that it's the history? University of Mississippi Medical Center. She has literally unleashed Pandora's box. If there's anything to learn, if there's a lesson in any of this, we got to learn how to take a deep breath. All right? Understand what our emotions are saying to us. Understand ain't nothing wrong with having emotions, and there's nothing wrong with being emotional. The problem is when you can't control, when you can't manage those emotions. All right? That's the problem. And then we get emotional, we make these posts, and then 85,000 people share. Let me see what y'all talking about on Facebook. Kenny Wayne said the story didn't add up from the jump. The mom, he said the mom should be looked at. Yeah, man, she's being looked at. She's being looked at. She's absolutely, baby said we don't care about things like that until it hits our doorstep. Absolutely. Listen, Rashida Brown says, Rashida says, I need her to issue an apology as quickly as she made a Facebook post. Thank you, Rashida. Thank you. You just reminded me. All right, Rashida, let me go back, because let me tell you what else I'm mad about. I ain't gonna say mad. I ain't mad, but I don't like it. So, Brandon police, like we don't own nothing. We don't take ownership for nothing. We don't own nothing. The Brandon Police Department says that it's all good. She then goes and makes a post. I guess shared it and made a post. She shared the Brandon post. But at the top of it, she says, it's crazy how my child can get intoxicated from hand sanitizer at daycare with no accountability. But if she had done it at home, she would have been taken from me by CPS. Our justice system puts businesses before families. Okay. Where's the history of her eating hand sanitizer? What does that normally happen? Because see, we gonna look at the data. We gonna see what the trend data tells us, and we're looking at the data. The data gives us indications of what's to come. Because typically people don't a tiger don't change his stripes, and so if there is a history, if there's a history of her eating hand sanitizer. Clearly, mom was aware that she used hand sanitizer because of the statement she allegedly made to the daycare leadership on Tuesday night. So surely the mom knew that she used hand sanitizer, but because we don't own nothing, because ain't nothing ever our fault, because we live in a narcissistic culture. And because we're in a narcissistic culture, people don't want to own nothing until they know you're going to own yours. You sorry now, don't do that. Don't let people manipulate you like that. People don't want to own anything under any circumstance. It's a narcissistic culture. And a narcissistic culture will not say, you know what? Let me step back, because Lee Junebug does this a lot. Lil Ray J does this sometimes. So let me take a step back before I open up Pandora's box. That one post, now she's being investigated. If there are medical records, they're gonna pull them. If those medical records reveal that this child has been taken to UMMC because of something like this before, they're gonna pull it and they're gonna see it. And then it's a whole nother kind of problem. Meanwhile, daycare workers, child care providers at Kids are out of work. Meanwhile, parents who typically have a solid place to take their children every day, where they don't have to be concerned with them. My understanding that this young lady has been running this daycare center for almost 40 years. Almost 40 years. And I'm talking about, now look, don't get me wrong. As teachers, we don't do everything right. Some of us ain't right. We're just like, we're like any other profession, okay? But in this case, at this daycare center, in this situation, that ain't what we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about consummate professionals. We're talking about people who have the ability, the know-how, the expertise, the training. I was impressed to even find out that one of the reasons that this even got reported to the parent is because that daycare center, well, don't let me lie, somebody in the daycare leadership performed evaluations, teacher evaluations that day, and made the call the parent. Folks ain't doing evaluations in daycare centers. They were doing evaluations, so that tells you the quality of this particular, and disclaimer, I don't have a child there. I ain't never been there. I don't know what a daycare center is. I couldn't tell you nothing about it or none of that. I don't know any of that. I just know the constructs of a good situation when it comes to schools. What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? Uh-oh. I don't know nothing about that, John Christopher. John Christopher said, and she's in the medical field. She knew better. I don't know nothing about that, John Christopher. I'm going to let you have that. I don't know anything about that, but here's what I will tell you. If she is in the medical field, you're right. You're right. She knew better. She right. You're right. She knew better. I want to, as I get ready to wrap this up, y'all, I want you to sit with this for a little while. I want you to sit with the fact that we've got to do a much better job of developing our self-awareness. We got to do a much better job of developing an ability to know ourselves, to understand what's going on around us, and to know our children and all those things so we can make the right kinds of calls. One thing my mama used to always say is, she said, I know what you will and won't do when you're around me. She said, but I don't know you when you're not with me. That makes sense? And so if you keep that kind of idea and attitude, because you don't know your children, I'm gonna tell you right, I'm gonna say it again, I work in schools. These folks night and day, they leave your house in the morning with them pants on and they covered up from head to toe. When they get to school, before they go to first period, they go in the bathroom, they change clothes, and they go from being Michelle Obama to being Ariel, give me somebody. Cardi B, baby. They go from being Michelle Obama to Cardi B, and you don't know it because when she left home, she looked just like she did for Sunday school yesterday. And when she walk in school, she ready to go on stage. Huh? You don't know them. You don't know them. They'll make a fool out of you every time. Let's consider this. Let's do a better job of investigating. Let's be hungry for information. Let's be aggressive about getting greedy, about getting all the information we need. And when you got your information, make your post. Because whatever you post, you got to be willing to deal with. And mama's dealing with it right now. Thank y'all for tuning in to the buffet with Tony Yarber. Look, we're here every Friday, 3 o'clock. It is the hottest Friday wind down you're going to find. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next week. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. I am so looking forward to Christmas. First Christmas, me being married to Babe, and I'm looking forward to it. Hope y'all have an amazing and blessed one. I'll see y'all next week, same time.